teach people how to place a tool?
Well, we would say something like this. This could be the most important financial tool that you ever encounter in your life. The gentleman that you're going to hear on the tool is a partner of mine in the business. He's upline from me. And I have just a handful of copies of these available. I have a lot of people that want to hear it. Will you make a commitment to listen in the next 48 to 72 hours? And then if they get a commitment, they put it in their hands, at which time they book an appointment to come back and have a conversation with that individual after they've heard the CD.
Okay, so you let them know that there's something in it for them. You let them know that that they're connected to the person that's doing the presentation. You let them know that there's some scarcity, that you have a handful, and they'd be privileged in order to be able to watch it. Right. You ask them for a specific commitment that in the next 48 to 72 hours, then you schedule the time for the follow-up.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And then when they go back to pick up the CD, this is designed for belly-to-belly, face-to-face. There's a reason to go back and see the person. And if for whatever reason they don't want to get started, get it back from them and use it again and again and again.
So do you have this online too, or just only?
Well, I do have a 10-minute abbreviated version of the Magic Wand online, but I'll tell you my attitude about that is this. On my business cards, you've seen my business card, you will not see my website. And I don't want them to go to my website. I want them to come back to me. I want to interact with them. Now, once they get started, then I'll show them the website, because there's a lot of educational material on it and so forth. But I do not use websites for recruiting purposes. Maybe that's a little naive, but that's just kind of the habit I've gotten into.
Well, there's so much value to be placed in, and there's so many interesting lessons to be placed in the relationship side of our business. So many people are hiding behind Facebook and Twitter and email blasts and websites and links and all this stuff in an effort not to interact with other human beings. Mm-hmm. And they're frustrated as to why people don't trust it. I mean, people aren't going to trust a link as much as they're going to trust another person when they can look you in the eye and say, they're going to be evaluating, can I work with this person, right?
Yes. I mean, that's been my experience, and there are people within my organization that try to do it on the internet, and typically they will have modest rates of growth. Some have built, fair businesses, but not gargantuan businesses.
Right.
And the leaders that build large businesses typically follow the path that I'm on.
So your basic path is get somebody to take a look at a tool, get face-to-face with them, then have some sort of a meeting, and then this ladder of escalation, a bigger meeting, use the products, and then get the more information about how to grow your business, validation, those types of things.
Yeah, well, let me just mention that we did not have a tool for the first 10 months in our business. I was just telling the story. And I told the story enough times that I had it down pretty well. I had done 200 consecutive meetings, and I had done a meeting in Jacksonville, Florida. And the guy that hosted the meeting recorded it. And unbeknownst to me, he started knocking copies off. And he sent one to Toledo, Ohio, and a guy listened, and he liked it. He got started. He went to a friend of his and gave him the cassette. It was a cassette at that time. He listened to it, he liked it, and he got started. He took it to a third guy who was a pretty big networker. He listened to it, he got fired up, and called upline, got my number, called me on the line, and he said, Sherm, this is so-and-so. I just listened to your Magic Wand. And he said, wow, I'm in. So it occurred to me that one cassette recruited 3 people.
Right.
And then I thought, well, now is the time to record it and edit it and get it out there. And this is really a pattern that had been repeated 20 years earlier, by the way, with the company you were with, Prepaid Legal.
Yeah.
And that's where we created the Magic Wand there.
Yeah.
And after 10 months here, we did it again, and the business exploded, went through the roof.
I will tell you, for me, the tools, whatever that tool is, when I first started where I'm at now, for the first 3 to 6 months, I had a recorded message that you called on your cell phone and listened to a recorded message. and then, took the next step because I needed to move fast. So whether it's that or an audio or a DVD or a magazine or whatever, for those watching this program, there should be, in just about every company that I'm aware of, there are tools that are similar to what Sherman is talking about inside of your company. And if you use the leverage of those tools, and then in addition to that, learn how to tell your story so you can get in front of more people, and you can do some presentations, and you can start to duplicate it, you can really make something happen.
Well, the benefit of the tool, Eric, let me just say this. For a brand new person that gets involved in the business, I was involved for 90 days before we recruited a single individual. And I had no intention of really building the business. I was just there using the product, but the product kind of got my attention. I traveled to the home office, learned more. But what we find with the tool is that a brand new person, even before they understand the compensation plan fully, even before they understand the story of the company, they can immediately begin to share their excitement and enthusiasm for the program by sharing the tool. Before the ink is dry on the application, they're out there talking to people. And so if you can get people started virtually in one day instead of 90 days, which is what it took me to get started, the process can be speeded up dramatically. And so for the brand new person, as they become more experienced and more knowledgeable, they then can tell the story themselves. But third party is a powerful idea.
Yeah, it's the only thing that can get you real, true duplication, because there's only so many, flights you can get on, and there's only so many presentations you can do. And what happens if you can't reach?
Well, we went ahead and created some DVDs of that presentation, and but the DVD is a different vehicle. It's not as versatile as a CD. A CD can be listened to while you're driving, can be listened to while you're working. But a DVD, you have to sit down and focus on the DVD. But my feeling was that, once we have 100,000 DVDs in circulation, if 2% of them were used on any given night, that would be 2,000 home meetings being conducted. And if those meetings average 2 new distributors per meeting, that's 4,000 a day. That's 20,000 a week. Now, the best we have done is to recruit 10 to 12,000 people a month.
Right.
In our business.
Sure, because as it gets a little away from the flame, it takes a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
The one distinction that I really like about what you're talking about, because I think some people view an event as only being a large group presentation or an in-home presentation where you invite people, 10 days from now, everybody gets together. Yours is, you have this little in-between meeting thing, which is, let's go meet with 2 or 3 people right now at, speed, fast. How quickly can we do it? What do you think about one-on-ones? What do you think, what's your philosophy on one-on-ones?
Well, I like that. I like one-on-ones. I do a lot of one-on-ones. And, but, at the role that I'm in now, there's a lot of people that want to tap into me to be the, the third-party referral, so to speak. And I help a lot of people with 3 ways. I help them with setting in a coffee shop with 2 or 3 people there, or sometimes with just one prospect there. And all of that is equally.
So it just kind of doesn't matter. Whatever you can get, go chase it, go grab it. The moral of the story is, let's move, let's get in front of somebody, let's tell the story as quickly as we can, as fast as we can, to the next person as quickly as we can.